All right, let's talk about a word you've probably heard a million times: blockchain. Now I know it sounds super complicated, right? But what if I told you the big idea behind it is actually pretty simple, and that it all starts with something like a shared notebook? Let's get into it. So, what is a blockchain when you really get down to it? If you strip away all the hype, all the technical stuff, what are you actually left with? Well, it turns out it's something surprisingly simple and honestly kind of brilliant. To really get it, let's just forget all the complicated terms for a minute. No code, no crypto, none of that. We're just going to imagine a very special kind of digital notebook. Okay, but this isn't your average notebook. Think of it as a magical one, shared between a few friends. We'll call them Alice, Bob, and Carol. And this notebook has 3 very important, very special rules that it has to follow. So rule number 1 is huge. There isn't just one single notebook. Instead, everyone in the group, Alice, Bob, and Carol, each gets their own perfect identical copy. And the cool part is they all magically stay in sync. This idea is the heart of what we call decentralization. So how does this actually work in practice? Let's say Alice wants to give Bob $10. She doesn't just send him a private message. Nope. She shouts it out to the entire group, and this is where the magic happens. Instantly, everyone pulls out their copy of the notebook and writes down the exact same thing. Alice paid Bob $10. And boom, just like that, all the notebooks are perfectly in sync. And you see, this is the really key part. There's no master copy floating around. No single person is the boss of the notebook. Everyone shares the work, and everyone has the exact same version of the truth. That, in a nutshell, is decentralization. Okay, ready for rule number 2? You can only add new entries on a brand new page. And once a page is totally full, it gets sealed for good. But the real clever bit is how the new pages are connected to the old ones. Just look at how this works. Once page 1 is full, it gets this special, unique seal. Think of it like a digital fingerprint. Let's just call it #A5T8. Now, when we start page 2, the very first thing we write on it is that seal from page 1. Creating a link. Then page 2 fills up, it gets its own unique seal, and that seal is used to start page 3. And you see where this is going. Every page is locked to the one that came before it. And this leads us to our third and maybe most powerful rule. It's what makes this whole system so incredibly secure. Those seals we talked about, they're basically unbreakable. The history written in this notebook is permanent. There's a fancy word for this: immutability. It just means it can't be changed, ever. But hey, let's kick the tires on that. What if someone tries to cheat the system? Let's say Carol gets a little sneaky. She decides she wants to go back and change an old entry in her copy of the notebook, maybe to make it look like she never spent some money. Think she can pull it off? Let's take a look. On the left, you've got the real history that everyone else agrees on. But on the right, that's Carol's copy. See what she did there? She tried to edit a past transaction, changing a $2 payment into a $20 one. But remember those magical seals? The second Carol changes a single letter on that page, just one tiny thing, the unique seal for that page instantly breaks. It doesn't match the contents anymore. It's like a security tag that just went off. And here's the kicker. Because all the pages are chained together, it's a domino effect. Changing that one page doesn't just break one seal, it breaks the seal on the next page, and the next, and the one after that. Her change creates this whole cascade of broken links, making it super obvious that something's wrong. So, when everyone else compares their notebooks to Carol's, they're going to see this long, broken chain of seals immediately. It's a dead giveaway. Her version is clearly a fake, so they'll just ignore it and stick with the version the majority has. The system, it protects itself. Okay, so now that we totally get our magical notebook, we can finally connect all the pieces and answer that first big question. What on earth is a blockchain? Let's just translate our story. That shared notebook we've been talking about? In the real world, that's called the ledger. The pages filled with all those transactions? Well, those are the blocks. And those magical, unbreakable seals that link everything together, you guessed it, that's the chain. So you put it all together and what do you get? a blockchain. See? It's right there in the name. So let's do a quick recap. A blockchain is really just a digital record book, a ledger that's shared among a whole bunch of people, so it's decentralized. New records get added in groups or blocks. Those blocks are then linked together securely to form a chain, which makes the whole history pretty much permanent and tamper-proof, or immutable. And that's it. That's the whole idea. So what's the big deal? Why does this matter? Well, it's a way to record information that makes it incredibly hard, almost impossible, for anyone to cheat or hack it. But the truly game-changing part is how it does this. All of that trust, all of that security happens without needing a central authority, like a bank or a government, watching over everything. And that leaves us with one last massive question to think about. If you can build trust directly into a system without needing a middleman, what else could you use that for? What else could that change? And that, right there, is the revolutionary idea at the very heart of blockchain.